Hi, my name is Karen. I'm with Spiritual Intuitions. Thank you for tuning into the channel today. I just want to talk about a few ways that that people in relationship, especially women, ignore the red flags. How we are just like blind to some of the obvious things that are right in front of our face, but we're not looking at or we're not paying attention to. So I know a lot of women have been, done wrong and scorned and uh, just treated very bad in their intimate relationships, and uh, I have too. And I just want to say that from my perspective, from where I sat, I can look back in hindsight and see where men always told me who they were and what they were about. It was just that I had a specific lens on that couldn't hear or see what they were saying, what the truth was about the person that was in front of me. Um, I carry around, and I still do it to this day, but now what happens is that I catch it a lot quicker in hindsight. So I'm always like just walking around, and I'm not sure what the conversation is that I have in my head, that all people are good, or people are trustworthy, or what, which most of them aren't. Most people have hidden intentions, and when you meet someone, you don't necessarily meet their authentic self. You meet their representative. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that before. And the representative is the person who wants to put on the best of best, impression in order to impress you, so that they can get you to be open to what it is that they want from you. And so most times that's sex, some type of physical relationship, because sex for men is very important. It's not the same for women. For women, sex is something that's important, but it's more about their heartfelt feelings, and how they really, want to nurture. It's their nature to nurture, to give their heart, to give in service to their man. So once you become intimate on a sexual level with a person, with a man, it's easy to get confused. So one of the ways that we don't have our eyes open is that we give our bodies away too quickly. And when we do that, we don't give ourselves enough time to actually learn about the person that's in front of us, or to really see the person that's in front of us. Now, they always tell us in every interaction who they are. It's just that we're not looking for that. We're looking for the ideal mate. We're looking for the person that we want to be in relationship with, not necessarily the person that's showing up in front of us, but we'll make that person in our minds the person who we want to be in relationship with, versus the person that they really are. And for the purposes that they really are, we don't want to see that. We want to see someone who's looking at a long-term relationship, who cares for us, who flatters us, makes us feel good, will protect, provide, and profess, their relationship to us. That's what we see. But that's not what they're saying for the most part. If you get in a conversation with most men, that's not what they're saying. And they tell you this like really, really fast. And that's the part I want to talk about. So, for example, I met a guy. I was in a phone store a few years ago, and I was buying a new phone. And the guy came over. I was sitting at the table waiting for the representative to call me. And he came over and he said, "Oh, what beautiful legs you have. I'm just so, you're just so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Can I get your number?" Well, at the time, I hadn't been in relationship with anyone seriously in quite some time. And I was like, "Well, Karen, you need to give yourself more of a chance to, or give other people more of a chance to get to know people so that you can get into a relationship, a personal relationship." Well, I saw this guy, he came over, he approached, and I said, "Oh," he asked for my number, I gave it to him. Okay, so fast forward, a couple of days or a day or so goes by, he calls. "Oh, I just miss you so much. I wish you were here with me now." In this really, really overly sexual undertone. And I'm like to myself, "You fucking don't even know me. How can you miss me?" But I guess in his experience of dealing with older women, which I am one, that he thought that that's what worked in terms of getting older women into bed, to compliment them and to, tell them how beautiful they were, and how much he wanted them, which was not impressive to me. It stood out like a red flag. But if I had been wanting the adoration or needy for the adoration, or if that was something that was I had locked in my mind, that meant that if they told me that meant that they cared for me, then I would have fell for the line, hook, and sinker. But because I wasn't locked in, I was just like trying to be open. I heard it, and it was like a huge red flag. It was like, "Okay, you don't even know me, so how?" And then he went on to say, what did he say? Oh, he didn't say much. I started to quiz him. And in my questioning of him, I was very direct. I was like, "Are you married?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Are you married?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, but I'm not, living," or some bullshit. And I was like, "Oh, okay. I don't deal with married men. Goodbye." So he told me, but he wouldn't have told me had I not asked him directly. He would have, just kept going on about me, and until he could get me into a relationship that was more sexual. And then who knows what? He could have just left. I don't know. But that was his angle. That was his game. Another time, I had a dealing with a neighbor who would tell me that he would be like really nice. I had a car, he didn't, so I'd go to the grocery store and I give him a ride, and he would purchase stuff. And I looked at it like, for me, like he asked me if I want something, I'll pick out something or whatever, and he would purchase it. And so I looked at it like it was an even exchange. I'm taking you in my car to shopping, and in return, you're giving me something, you're offering to pay for what it is that I want, and it wasn't like a whole grocery thing or anything. It was a few things, and so that happened a couple of times, and he kept sweet talking and smooth talking about, how he was a Casanova in his early days and his younger days, and he was married, but he had all of these children out of wedlock, and I mean all of these crazy scenarios, and how his wife, didn't like it, of course, but she had passed, and he was looking for another, mate. And I was like, I am not the one. I am not the one, because number one, you don't have any respect for women. You had women, you had two women pregnant, one your newlywed wife, and another woman at the same time, Um, and then you had the nerve not even to be involved in that child's life at all. You just left it to the woman to take care of. So you think that your job is to just fucking spread seeds around the world, and that's okay. And then two, I noticed that, anytime he would try to pick up on or scare me, create fear around a specific situation or subject where he would think that I would need his protection, which I thought was a real joke. Given my life and what I've been through, I thought it was a real joke that he thought that he could protect me. Um, it was just not, it wasn't authentic for me. At any rate, he would press. If I would like give in and agree with him that something was kind of dangerous or precarious, he would keep pressing that button to see if he could move me closer to an alliance with him versus away from my own independence. And I noticed that. I don't know if this man was completely narcissistic, but I noticed when he was with his family, he was completely docile and different. Docile, and he would follow instructions and not say a whole lot. But when he was with me, he was Mr. Ed. And there were two just huge discrepancies given that. And then he said, but why won't you date me? Why can't we blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. Even though I knew from the beginning it wasn't gonna be a go. But I said, okay, we could start to, I'll start to look at you as a possibility. And the minute I said that to him, he was like, I love you, and I loved you from the first time I saw you, and I told my daughters that we're gonna get married, and this and that and the other. So I'm like, oh wow, that's really something. And that was kind of my response to it. And I was like, now we haven't had sex, okay? And so a couple of days go by, and his daughter comes by the house, and I happen to be sitting outside. Do you know this man did not even introduce me to his daughter or his grandson? He did not even, he didn't say a word. He had a completely separate conversation with them, and it was like I wasn't even there. And I was like, oh my fucking God. This man is so like disconnected. He is so out of it. Either he's lying his ass off about saying that he loves me and he wants to marry me and he told his daughters, or he's totally disconnected or senile or something. Something's going on there. And 1 + 1 does not definitely equal 2. It's like 1 + 1 = 33. And at that point, I like cut it. I'm like, I can't believe that you did what you did after telling me what you told me. So don't even bother with even the possibility of anything like that. And before that, he had the habit of like, if he get upset, of like ignoring me. So that's what I did to him. I was like, I ignored him before I said anything to him about the situation. And he had before put his body like in front of me in a way that blocked me from moving. And I didn't like that. But I didn't say anything to him the first time he did it. Well, when I started to ignore him, and he did that again when we were in the process of having a conversation. He was like, why are you ignoring me? And I'm like, I'm ignoring you because of the fact that you didn't introduce me. You didn't have the decency enough to introduce me to your daughter. And so, and I'm trying to move, and he stands in front of me. And that was the second time that he did that. And that was a huge thing for me. It was nonverbal, but it was majorly like he was like, you ain't going nowhere till you answer to me. And I'm like, fuck that. And so I told him, I said, excuse me, please move. I'm going this way. And that was basically how we ended the relationship. And so now we see each other, we don't even speak. I don't have a desire to talk to this man. I think he's like really sneaky and contrite, whatever that word means. That's the word that's coming to my mind. Contrite. He's losing it. He's older. He's much older, and he's sick. And he's looking for someone who can satisfy him sexually and take care of him. And that is not me. I am not the one. So I just wanted to share with you in hopes that you guys could stop and take time to actually look for clues that are presented by these men that put you in these situations, but that you just don't pay attention to. It's not that the clues aren't there. It's not that the flags aren't there. It's that we don't pay attention. So we need to pay more attention to what's going on. We need to be more questioning, and we need to be more upfront about what it is we want, and whether that is what is in front of us or whether it's something that is pretending to be what's in front of us. And so with that, I want to do a quick reading to just pull a few cards to see what else Spirit has to say about this. Gifts. So it started out with gifts. So he thought, I guess his way of pulling women is to cookie crumb them, to like he was doing me. So, and I didn't realize it was a cookie crumb until the whole scenario ended and I saw how he played the game. But it was really a very small gift that he didn't have to put out a lot for. He also said that he doesn't eat out. So that automatically took dating and, going to dinner. And that's something I love out of the picture. So gifts, beware of gifts. Why are they given and how are they given? And what's the value of the gift and what's the purpose of the gift? What's behind the gift? These are the questions we want to ask about gifts. Because people will put bright, shiny things in front of you all the time just to get your attention away from what it is that they really want or what they're really trying to accomplish. And the second card that I pulled is toil and labor. Toil and labor. So, everything costs something. There's nothing that you're really going to get, they're saying, in this world that's really for free. And even though I looked at the exchange of me taking him to the grocery store and him buying me stuff as a fair and equal exchange, that's not how he saw it. He saw it as something, as of being a provider or something to that effect. More on toil and labor of distant horizons. I'm not getting anything from there. So I just wanna, I'm not getting any more of a hit of anything. I got mature man, mature woman, and gift. So there still may be that person that is compatible with you, that you're looking for, who is out there, but you have to keep your wits about you. You have to be willing to look and see actually what it is that's showing up in front of you is versus the ego that they're talking to, because men will speak to a woman's ego, to her vanity, to her wanting to be the center of attention, the most beautiful, the women love being paid attention to. So you need to put that to the side and consider your well-being and your welfare and who you're letting into your space before it becomes something that turns out to be not so manageable, or something that turns out to be hurtful. And I hope that this conversation helped some of you. There are a lot of things that I see that little dynamics, little things that occur that tell me big things about people, and that you could see as well. If you want to have a conversation with me about how to go about detecting these types of things, or what more to look for, or how to handle even a first date, what your intention is, what you're looking for, what the purpose of it is. I'm a coach. You feel free to, email me, and I'd be happy to work with you on that and let you know what my fees are for that kind of a service. But there are definitely agendas that men have, and they have them a lot more than what women have, in terms of their ability to succeed in getting past your roadblocks, their ability to cover up their true intentions. So you have to protect yourself, because men are of a predatory nature by nature. Women are of a nurturing nature by nature, and they know this. So knowing this, as a female, what do you need to do to protect yourself? That's a key question. How do you see these red flags and not pay attention to what it is that is being said? Because a person can say something over and over again, and you'll believe it even if it's a lie. If you keep hearing it over and over again, scientifically, the brain does not know the difference between a lie and the truth. It's through people's actions, or through what it is that they say, and you analyzing that you get to discern whether it is authentic or just a bunch of BS. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.